and here's a current situation. So first is no planned solar panels on housing and flats. Second is removal of trees lining the high street. Third, hedgerow dividing development in Morrison's car park. It's a good idea for biodiversity, but it is important that the type of plant is hardy to ensure it grows well. And fourth, parking spaces near forests could damage tree roots.
Right, so main part of our redesign in terms of climate is that the roofs of the mixed-use buildings would be roof gardens, and there would be solar panels on top of the roofs of townhouses. The solar panels would provide a long-term source of green energy, and they would also reduce energy costs, and this would be compliant with the council's corporate plan with the section Sustainable Homes and Vibrant Places, which outlines the need for energy efficiency in housing. The roof gardens would provide multiple benefits such as reduced flood risk, which is really important in urban areas such as Cambourne, which have lots of impermeable area, like surfaces, and it would improve air quality and improve biodiversity. I've already addressed this, but creating more cycle lanes and pedestrian routes would really encourage sustainable travel, as well as the shared bikes sheds, which would have maybe green roofs to increase the biodiversity further. We also thought that it was really important that there would be water recycling systems, such as grey water recycling and water harvesting in things like water baths for their houses, which would be compliant with the Green to the Core section of the Council's corporate plan, which says that we will support households and businesses to reduce consumption and waste while promoting reuse and recycling. And this is important with water, especially due to the increasingly hot climate during summers in the UK. And finally, a large part of the proposal which we did not agree with was that they would cut down the trees lining the Cambourne High Street. We thought that this would be like a really big shame because they're like a habitat for birds and insects, and it would also contradict the plan to be green to our core, which states that we will work with partners to ensure that the proposed development plans safeguard and where possible enhance the local environment and nature, as well as part of the NBBF in paragraph 136, which states that planning policies and decisions should ensure that new streets are tree lined.
Here I have talked about what we can do to help disabled people, and here's what I think we can do. So add more drop curbs at crossing and path junctions, ensure paths are wide, flat and well maintained, install more benches and shaded waiting areas, improve signage and direction, especially for people with visual impairments, provide priority seating areas near High Street and parks, and according to South Cambridgeshire Local Plan Chapter 5, we can provide access for all users and abilities to public buildings and spaces, including those with limited mobility or those with other impairments such as of sight or hearing.
Yep, so I'd like to shift the focus to the final of the 4 C's, which is community. The first slide is about lack of community gathering opportunities. So we identified that there's a minimum amount of shared community spaces and there's no direct access to the forest. So as I mentioned earlier, we are planning on having a path going straight through the middle, which allows access into the forest and obviously enjoy the scenery. We're going to have a nice waterfall in the middle and have some benches for some good community opportunities. And we have over here in paragraph 135 in the NPPF, which is establish or maintain a strong sense of place using the arrangement of streets, spaces, building types and materials to create an attractive and welcoming, distinctive places to live, work and visit. So we feel like the original proposal to Harris was contradicting that statement, so we kind of worked around that and made sure that they both align. So this next section for community, the lack of consultation, we identified that the residents feel like they're not given a say for the community because obviously that's their community and that's where they live. So we found a really simple solution to that. just have the input, get input of the people who live there. That could be via online forms, brochures or leaflets going through doors. It's just engaging people to kind of contribute to their place and where they live. And we found that having this would mean that there's happier residents as they're given the satisfaction that they got their voice heard and they managed to contribute to the place that they live.
So here I have talked about our learning outcomes and kind of what we learned during this placement. And so during this placement we developed our skills in using Microsoft PowerPoint and OneDrive. We've learned how to create and structure slides clearly and how to save and access our work online using OneDrive. It helped us feel more confident in using digital tools for real-world tasks, not just schoolwork. We also practiced writing in a more formal tone and organizing our thoughts, usually for presentation.
Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, please fire away.
Well, when can you start work? That was amazing. I can't believe have you just been here a week?
Well, yes, it's Monday.
Not even a week.
Yeah, we started the project on maybe Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
it's just about Tuesday the project
That's
started.
amazing. I mean, I'm literally blown away at how much you've managed to synthesise into that presentation, and you presented it so well. So
Thank you.
it was so compelling. All of you were incredible. Not many people can keep my attention for half an hour, but you guys did it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have any questions? My question was going to be, what have you learned? But you did summarise that at the end. Was all the stuff about the local plan and the MPPF, was that all new stuff to you that you learned this week?
Yes.
Yes.
And what do you think about it all?
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's all very cohesive, like it all links really
Yeah.
well together. And even in like quite such like a small space of just the site, it really like inputs in so many points of view. So yeah, it was really cool to see. Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, I'm blown away. I think you've done an amazing job. Thank you. And I love your thoughts and your ideas. And there's nothing better than seeing, a future generation kind of saying some sensible stuff, right? Because people in my generation often don't say. And as you can see from, the proposals that we get in, what do you think drove that proposal that we've got in?
Profit.
Yeah. And that's always the balance that my colleagues in planning have to sort of weigh up, is how can we get as much other benefit, the 4C's benefit out of it, compared to how much profit the developer wants to make. And that's always some really tough choices for my colleagues and also for councillors when they make decisions at the planning committee.
Definitely.
So thank you very much, I've loved it.
Thank you.